What's up, you beautiful nerds? I am Wildfire1. You are listening to and watching Nerd is the New Sexy Entertainment, the podcast. And this is episode 191. We're doing a very special episode today about something that's probably been on our list of stuff to talk about for a while. And joining me today is...
Hello, I'm Laserkid.
That is the LK, and he is a huge fan. Every so often, I'll reach out to people I know that are fans of the fans of the stuff we talk about, and this is definitely one of the things I know you liked. So I was like,
I'm a big Transformers dork. Yes.
Did you want to be a part of this? And you're like, hell yeah! And of course, Monster was supposed to be here, but he has to get his beauty sleep. So
he's got to pick up his Energon in the morning. I get it.
Yeah, you know, he doesn't put enough of that in his coffee. But yeah, we're talking about Transformers. It's and not just like one particular set of Transformers. We're talking about maybe the whole franchise, which is a lot to talk about.
There is a whole mountain of things. We'll probably touch some of them very lightly.
Yeah, we're
I don't think I think we'll ignore most of the Japanese stuff, especially like KISS players. We don't need to talk about that.
We're gonna go over just the brief fandom that we love and what we did, and go from there. And I know LK's got a few toys and collectibles he wants to show us.
Oh, I've got a friend,
and we'll definitely me Grimlock. So for those of you listening, you probably won't see it, but I'll do my best. We'll do our best to talk about it. But he's got some of the toys and collectibles and
oh yeah, I got friends.
I remember watching the Generation 1 cartoon.
I grew up with that as well
as a kid before going to school. And I remember just falling in love with the series, falling in love with it. And then of course the cartoons, you know, actually it's funny because I believe that the toys came out before the cartoons in this case, because the toys were available in Japan for a whole different the
Japanese
series.
Like it was a toy line called Diaclone and Microman, and they kind of. What's funny is Microman was their version of G.I. Joe: Real American Hero.
Yeah,
they brought over there to be like, hey, let's demilitarize it because it's kind of military is a tough subject for Japan right now.
And that's better, because what are they going to do? Are they going to do their own Japanese version of G.I. Joe? Yo, Joe.
It would be a shame. I mean, we have a bunch of Japanese characters. We got a bunch of ninjas in G.I. Joe. They could focus on that.
Yeah, I mean, I joke around, but Japan's got so much better than us in the United States, in my opinion.
I mean, if you look at some of those, the Diaclone toys in particular, like, they did some crazy shit.
But yeah,
they had like stuff we didn't get, like giant robots that you put your Transformers into.
Yeah,
and close them and fly them around. It's just like, I would have loved that.
I had actually saw one of those on TikTok the other day. Like, I swear TikTok listens to me and knows what I'm gonna. So like I saw that, or maybe it was on YouTube. I don't remember, but it was one of those things I've been watching, and I saw and they put it in the what wasn't, it was Optimus, but it wasn't Optimus, if you get my drift.
And they
Convoy. And they put him inside this bigger robot, and it was just so badass. Little Wild would have loved that. But yeah, so for those of you who do not know, Transformers is basically a stolen not stolen concept, but a stolen.
It's not stolen, but it's borrowed.
It's borrowed from another.
What happened is it was brought over to the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Hey, we got to do something with this." And the Transformers we all know and love, you can literally thank Marvel Comics for it.
Yes,
because Hasbro got Jim Shooter, the head of Marvel at the time, to basically do the story, the characters your Optimus Prime, your Megatrons, your Bumblebees, Grimlock, Starscream, all of those guys. That was Jim Shooter.
Yeah.
And we all have all these characters because of that.
I may talk shit about Marvel, like the old comics. I do love Marvel, don't get me wrong. But like Jim Shooter just fucking made what we love about Transformers.
And I will be the guy who's like, okay, I'm going to get myself shot by the Transformers community now. I don't really like the G1 Transformers comics. Now, that's a lot of people love them. And, if you do, power to you. They're certainly something. And I do have a bunch of them because, kid collects comics.
Yeah.
But my earliest memories of Transformers are, of course, the cartoon and the toys. And I didn't have a lot of G1 toys because they were big and expensive. And I had a lot of the small ones.
A lot of them were straight metal.
Oh yeah,
straight metal. That's before they used plastic. For
Like I grew up Grimlock. This is a Generation 2 Grimlock. This is why we call it G1. This is G2. He's blue. That's why he's
yeah,
blue. He's a reissue, and that's where I started getting larger ones. The G1 toys I had were like itty bitty little dudes, like basically your Bumblebee. Oh, I didn't have him. I wish I would have. I had Cosmos and like Sea Spray, and if you're a Transformers fan, you know how that's a choice in both cases. But
yeah.
those are what I had. But my first real memory of Transformers, I was watching it before I could even think about it, to be honest with you. But my
Mhm.
first memory was going to that movie.
Oh yeah, the movie.
I was
I was a
5 years
fan of the
old. It was
show,
86.
of course. Watched the
Oh,
show,
as was I.
and I'm not saying you weren't. I'm just saying like that's how I watched the show for years. So when the movie came out, I was shitting my little pants. I wanted to see it.
Oh yeah, no, I was excited too. I really loved it. I just say that's like the first thing I really visually remember. Because a lot of what I remember is after the movie, I would just rent the tapes from like a independent video store by us, and I just rent them like crazy. And that's really where my memories of G1 pre-movie G1 come from.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
I know I was watching it as a kid because I was excited for that movie,
I just
but I don't
remember waking
remember
up.
watching it as a
I
kid.
remember waking up as a kid, before going to school, watching it, and then getting dressed, doing my thing, going to school, walking to school as a little guy. And I always thought that was, that was my morning routine. That He-Man and whatever else was on at the
Oh
time.
yeah. Oh, and I
So
watched all that stuff too. The reason I say it's my first memory is like before that movie, I was like, that movie came out in '86. I was 5. Before that, I wasn't even in school yet.
yeah.
I absolutely was watching Transformers, before school in the later '80s
Well,
on
then
reruns.
and then the movie came out and taught us about life and death.
Yes, every kid cry. I actually do remember all of the kids, me included, crying because Optimus Prime
Well, not
died.
only did they kill Optimus, they killed
Oh,
like
they killed
most of.
everybody.
I mean, nowadays as an
If
adult,
you
I
had a toy,
understand.
they died in there.
Yeah, I understand as an adult they were trying to push out new toys for the next set
There
of
are
whatever.
better way. Now, I say this. We all love the movie. Everybody loves
Yeah,
the
I
movie,
love the
and
movie. It was good.
it's a great film. But like, guys, come on! You don't have to kill everyone.
We didn't need Rodimus as the fucking next Prime, dude. No one wanted Rodimus.
No, just make a better, newer Optimus Prime, which is what they ended up doing later.
Hashtag not
Um,
my Prime.
which was the my first big G1 toy was the second Optimus Prime, the Power Master Optimus Prime. I do have him.
Oh man, I had a buddy that I went to school with as a kid, and he had the original G1 Optimus metal.
Oh,
Like, oh,
see, I have a Generation 2 Optimus Prime, but it's not G1.
the Generation One. Like as kids, you had to it was like a puzzle. You had to figure out how they fucking
Oh
transformed.
yeah, oh yeah.
It was like a
Like the
30-minute
toy, the
process.
G2 toy is identical. It even still has some metal on it.
Oh,
It's just the smokestacks are smaller, and they gave him way too many extra stuff.
yeah. No one liked Rodimus. Rodimus sucks
See, I
as a
like
leader.
Rodimus, but he's not Optimus.
No,
It's like
he was better as Hot
you're.
Rod. I think he would have been better
I think he
as
was better as Hot Rod. I think Rodimus is a fantastic character because you're looking at a guy who all of the doubts we have about him, he has about himself.
yeah. Well, he was like
That is a fan.
he was like the Game
That's a great
Ranger. He
character.
didn't want to be the hero.
Yes,
He
he
didn't
is
want to
the
be the
gamer.
hero.
He didn't want to be that. Well, and here's the thing: he has a responsibility rest on him, and he understands he's got to do it.
Yeah.
But even he didn't think he was the guy throughout the entirety of that third season of G1. He's just like, I'm not the guy. Why am I the guy? And that is a really cool story idea.
Yeah.
But again, at the cost of Optimus Prime, people are gonna just be like,
Well, we were all us kids were wounded from that. I mean,
oh
we lost.
yeah,
And again,
yeah.
we didn't just lose Optimus. We lost about half the Autobots. Quite
We
a few
lost
of the
Wheeljack,
Decepticons.
Windcharger. We lost Ironhide dramatically.
Yeah.
We lost
Like no fucks
Prowl and
giving.
Bronx get destroyed immediately.
They just killed them. That was not like wasn't
oh
even
yeah.
the only one that had like a really honorable death was Optimus. The other was just
Well, and some of them you don't even see it. Like Wheeljack, you just see his dead body on the floor. I went most of my life not knowing that Wheeljack dies in that movie. They don't make a mention of it. But it's one of those things. Remember when they're in the hole and Devastator's out there and they're getting that grenade launcher. There is a scene where RC looks over and goes, "Oh," like sad. And for like 2 seconds, you have a dead wind charger and dead wheeljack on the ground, but unless you're really looking for it, you're never gonna see it.
Yeah. And Peter Cullen, man, like
Oh man, what a goat.
amazing voice actor. I can't to this day, and I'll give everyone else credit who voiced Optimus throughout
Oh,
the years,
absolutely.
but they're not Peter Cullen. You know, that's
When he kind of took the role back over full time, like he is Optimus Prime.
yeah, he's just so good at he pioneered the voice. He pioneered what Optimus was.
He did.
And to have someone else, it's almost like, I'm going to use a decent reference here. It's almost like having Will Smith try to take over for Robin Williams as fucking Genie. It just doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Well,
You
and
know?
they had the right idea in the '90s when they did, the Beast Wars, and they had, Optimus Primal. You have Gary Chalk voice him. Well, that's fine. It's not Optimus Prime.
Well, it's not
It's a
supposed to be
similar.
Optimus Prime either.
Yeah,
So.
no, he's not at all supposed to be that. So
It makes sense.
It doesn't bother you.
Yeah.
So,
but when you got
fine.
like Optimus Prime and he's voiced by fucking like the latest movie by fucking Chris Hemsworth or whoever.
Well, at that point they were doing it was quote unquote Orion Pack. So
yeah,
fine up until the very end of the movie when he becomes Optimus Prime. It's like, you guys didn't get him for that after the transformation. Come on, guys.
But don't get me wrong, I'm talking. I like the movie.
Great.
The movie was great.
I did too. Actually, that movie was amazing. The last 3 Transformers movies have all been great. That is my hot take, and I do not say that about a lot of those movies. But the last 3, Bumblebee, Rise of the Beast, 1, great films.
Wasn't a fan of Rise of the Beast. I did like Bumblebee. Bumblebee was all right. But and it's some of the I want to say the best, as far as the movies go, the live action movies. It's probably the first one, but that was because the hype for that movie was hyped.
I really liked that movie when it was new.
Yes.
But on rewatches, I don't know.
At the time, the graphics were top of the line.
Oh, yeah. At the time, it was exciting because it was the Transformers in live action in the theaters. It was a huge hit. The CGI was really good.
Peter Cullen back as Optimus.
Peter Cullen back as Optimus Prime.
Hearing him say "roll out" when we're in the
it's great. Absolutely, that all hit. It's just when you look back on it, it's like, oh, this thing had issues the whole time.
Well, the thing is,
think about it
for something like that, is the hype is so hyped that you don't look at the flaws.
It's kind of like the Star Wars sequels, where the first one comes out, everyone's excited, everyone loves it, and then Last Jedi happens and everyone's mad. Well, in a similar fact, Transformers 2, Revenge of the Fallen, that one immediately pissed people off. But when you look back, it's like, oh yeah, the first one not as bad, nowhere near as bad as 2. I mean, I say this, I own like the first 4 Transformers films on Blu-ray, the live action ones, and they're
entertaining on their own, but they're not.
They're okay.
They're not exactly what they should be.
Yeah,
and
the thing is, and that is one of the beauties, though. If you don't like one version of Transformers, turn around, look, there's another one.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Beast Wars. I asked you to get that list, so let's briefly go over that.
And I did it from freaking memory, by the way.
Damn. So let's go over a little bit of that.
So the original show, Transformers, ran from 84 to 87.
Such a good series. Like
it's got its moments. Season 1's okay. Season 2 is either really good or really bad.
Yeah.
And it can be really frustrating because Season 2 has some of the weirdest shit. They literally have a love story between an Autobot and a lady. It's really kind of cringy.
Sex would be horrible.
I can imagine.
What do you turn into? I'm a dildo.
Gosh. It gets weird, but after the movie, which we've already talked about, the 3rd season, if you just look at the quality of the writing, it is the best season. It is the most consistent. It doesn't contain the high highs of season 2, but it also doesn't have any of the fail bombs of season 2. It is just a straight shot, pretty good.
As a kid, I fell off. I think I couldn't look past the dead Optimus thing, but I did
I can
like
get
that they
that.
brought him back at the end, and it felt like
They
that was
did,
the ending we
although
deserved.
it's kind of, if you've seen it, the Return of Optimus Prime is really kind of a disappointing story. It's a great that they did it, especially because Optimus Prime dying and coming back is just kind of what he does now.
Oh yeah, well that was the start of it all.
Yeah, that's where they got
The
it from.
the movies
But
got really bad about that.
oh yeah, but the Return of Optimus Prime, the two-parter finale for season 3, it's not great. It's awesome to see Optimus, but the story is
I just
kind of
remember being
not well
excited that
done.
he came back,
Oh yeah,
and
it's very
he kind of
exciting.
saved the day, using air quotes here.
The problem is that they followed it up with a 3-part season 4 called the Rebirth, which introduced all the Headmaster toys that were new at the time, and that's the note they ended on. They couldn't have kept going, and in Japan they did. In Japan they ignore that. They created their own Headmasters cartoon and go into all other bunch of Transformers cartoons, going all the way into 1990. But in the U.S., after 1987, there's not another Transformers cartoon that's new until 1996.
And that's
That's
Beast
Beast
Wars, right?
Wars.
Yeah.
In '93, they did Generation 2, got a show, but it's just G1 repackaged.
Beast Wars was good. The story was good in that series. I know Monster
Beast
watched it
Wars
more than
is
I did.
one of the best Transformer shows you will ever like.
The only other CG I could think of about that time that was close to that was like shit, what was that show on Cartoon Network?
Reboot.
Reboot. And
You know
Reboot. Why?
It's the exact same company, Mainframe Entertainment.
That figures. That figures. And it was
the
kind of
exact same
yeah.
studio.
So that makes sense. But as far as aging, it didn't age too well, but the stories makes
I
up
would
for it.
disagree with that. People say that a lot because they're going in their memories and going, "Oh, that's got to look ugly." Give it a look. You will be surprised. It's not as bad as you think. Now, I'm not going to tell you it's like going to be shiningly beautiful, most awesome thing you've ever seen.
It was great for the
But
time.
it's not ugly.
It was great for
It's
the time.
not. It's great for the time, and because it was great for the time, it's not ugly. It's not. If you can handle like PlayStation 1 and N64 games, this blows those out of the water.
Yeah. Well, I'm not
And
saying it's ugly. I am saying that it aged as
it is
most
aged.
CG shows aged.
Yeah.
Aged
Oh yeah.
badly.
Like if you're looking for it to look like the best CGI, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Not anymore. But it doesn't look bad at all, and the writing is why you should go there. And honestly, even with the CGI as it is, it's very they do a lot of comedic moments. And they play them up. Like characters' eyes come out of their sockets and stuff.
Yeah, it's cartoony
Like
in
they
some
play
aspects.
that up. It's
great.
cartoon, yes. It's CGI, but it's like they're not going for hyperrealism. And because they didn't go for hyperrealism, it holds up pretty well.
And I like the fact that like it was more about the actual bots than it was humans, because there were really no it's supposed to be the prehistoric era.
The only humans that there are were prehistoric humans, and the only major effect they had is on an Emmy-winning episode of the show. I'm not kidding. It is the episode where Dinobot finally chooses his path. The character Dinobot is probably one of the most prominent characters in the entire show. Started off as a Predacon, the successor to the Decepticons. Joined the Maximals in episode 1. But then in the middle, he kept vacillating, do I want to be a good guy, do I want to be a bad guy? Because he had two dueling ideas that were important to him. Honor and glory.
So that character itself had like a big,
he had a whole story
defining moment.
But the thing that made him that I was leading to, he sacrifices himself to save the humans. And it is a incredibly emotional experience to watch that episode. And that is the importance of the humans in the show. It's not so much that they do anything themselves, they don't. But there's an impact there. But there's a lot of other things going on. Dinobot's whole story arc is like a 2-season story arc. It's a lot. but there's also everybody else.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's incredibly well written, and it has a fantastic finale at the end of season 3. Just don't watch Beast Machines, because oh god, it ruins everything.
I've heard
You want something
Beast Machines was pretty bad.
if you like character assassinations, then it's the best show to watch.
Oh god. So what's the next one that came after that? After Beast Wars?
So after Beast Machines, we end the Beast era of the Transformers toys. But they didn't have anything new ready, so they actually imported a Japanese anime Transformer, because there's a bunch of those.
Okay.
I mentioned some of them earlier, but when Beast Wars was going on, Japan got it. Japan was importing our Beast Wars show, but they had to wait between seasons, so they made their own 2D anime Beast Wars shows.
Okay.
While they were waiting. But then at the end of that, when they finished that, they made their own show called Car Robots, where you have Autobots, traditional Autobots, where an Optimus Prime is a fire truck.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It's very cool. And here's a twist: the bad guys are the Predacons.
Oh,
So
okay.
you have robots and animal robots, and they're on opposite sides of the faction divide. There are a few Decepticons that show up later on, though, just to shake things up, like a sub-faction within the Predacons. It gets really fun.
But that was a Japanese show.
It was Japanese, but they dubbed it and released it in the US as Robots in Disguise, which is a name they're going to use again because it's such a good name. This is the 2001 Robots in Disguise. It's a cute little show. If you have a chance to watch it, I do recommend it. Don't expect a lot out of it, but it's fun. It's fun. But the big one that everyone remembers after this is the Unicron trilogy, which starts with Transformers Armada.
Oh yeah, Transformers Armada was good.
Armada was very good.
I enjoyed Armada a lot.
Armada has some great toys as well. But yeah, they introduced a whole new faction of Transformers called Minicons.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, the Minicons. Yeah, okay, I remember that.
I've got one right here. This is definitely one I wanted to show because this is such a neat little idea.
Well, I liked how they explained what they were too. They're like, for Unicron, they were like almost like white blood cells, almost.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But for the Autobots and Decepticons, they latch onto them and power on, and the toys did that too. There's, you're not gonna really be able to see this very well, but there's a little hole in here, snaps into the toy. But in this guy's case,
they're power-ups for the actual.
He actually can turn a regular helicopter into an attack helicopter. I was gonna try and grab the guy, but he's hiding over there somewhere.
It's still cool.
But they're a neat little concept.
Yeah, I like the idea of the Minicons. I was trying to remember what series that was from.
That's Armada. Armada's got the Minicons. Now at the end of Armada, Unicron is killed. And that leads at the end. Well, yes, killed.
I'm using air quotes for those who can't see.
Yes, because he's not quite dead. Not quite dead yet.
He's never quite dead, even when he's just a head floating in space.
Oh, we'll get to that in a minute here in the Unicron trilogy, so-called, because he's the focus of it. In Transformers Energon, they're trying his own forces are trying to revive him with Energon. And so, you have but there's a renewed battle between the Autobots and Decepticons. Unicron comes back again, and Starscream has died and sacrificed himself in Armada, but has been kind of brought back as almost like this revenant by Megatron in that show in Energon, and it's really sad and depressing and all of that. And so you got to defeat these guys. Well, they do. They beat them all back. They defeat Unicron and they destroy him utterly this time, completely. He's
no
gone.
Air quotes that time.
No air quotes that time, because the next show, Transformers Cybertron, because Unicron's destroyed, there's a black hole where Unicron used to be, and it's exponentially growing, and they have to get these things called cyber keys to seal the black hole up. And they go planet to planet to planet doing that. And that's the kind of gimmick there. It's the Minicons. They have these little keys that you like plug into the toy, and it does different things. They're pretty neat. And that's around the time. That's 2006. The very next year, you've got the live action movie, and that's where the toy line goes for a while. In 2008, we get a really interesting show, Transformers Animated.
I vaguely
And
remember that one.
they go for an incredibly cartoony style. Prowl's a motorcycle. This is where fan favorite character Bulkhead comes from, who's like this big military truck guy who's very chunky. And not the smartest, but he's got a heart of gold. And Animated's a fan favorite because it's actually incredibly well written.
Okay.
And unfortunately, it ended before it should have, because there was supposed to have been a fourth season that just did not happen. Rescue Bots is actually part of the aligned continuity, which is what we're getting into next.
Hold on, did you see that?
No.
I just had an orb float in front of my head. Probably, it was probably a piece of like dust or something.
The Transformers are haunting you.
It just went like this. I was like, "What the fuck?" Go ahead. So the next series.
So after that is when we get to the aligned continuity. So up until this point, we've just been getting like, okay, G1 continuity, G1 Beast Machines. Then you just have, individual show, the Unicron trilogy. Then you have animated, its own separate thing. They wanted to get everything together again. So they created an experiment called the aligned continuity. And it started with something you probably is not expect. A video game.
Oh, you're talking about
War for Cybertron.
Yeah, those games were fucking amazing. I don't care.
War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron.
Yes.
Are the beginning of what's called the aligned continuity.
I was hoping we get to talk about those. Those games are.
Oh yeah, no, they're great games. You can't buy them anymore. No. Thanks, Hasbro.
Thanks. Yeah, fuck you, Hasbro.
Well, they took the license away from Activision, and they haven't brought it back out with anyone else.
Well, it's good that Activision don't got their claws in it, because Activision can suck a dick.
Oh God, yes, agreed.
But that game is so good that they need to just
all the Transformers games are gone because of that.
Fucking assholes.
Which is the one that makes me sad is Devastation, because that's so good too.
Yeah. I played 5 minutes of that while it was free on the PlayStation Network, and then Cell Animation. It was such a good game.
Oh yes, Devastation is fantastic. So with the aligned continuity, it was a big experiment to get all these multimedia stories together. The next big show that went with that is Transformers Prime.
Prime was amazing.
Prime, I bet you didn't know that Prime was in the same continuity as those videos.
I had a feeling, because the way everything
they
looked.
talk about Dark Energon.
Yeah.
Now there are some continuity issues because the writing team at Prime didn't pay nearly enough attention to those games. So there are issues, but the idea was that it would all be connected. And Rescue Bots is in the aligned continuity too. I know.
That's okay. It's money. They want money. That's all that was.
What's nice about Rescue Bots is it stays out of the way. The main thing about them is that, and we're in the early 2010s now. We're at 2010. In fact, Prime's 2010. Rescue Bots is 2012.
And the whole point, they're just milking the franchise to get as much money as they can out of with the Rescue Bots.
Well, the idea was because Prime was aimed at an older audience. They were aiming at teenagers and early 20s. And in our cases, we were in our early 30s.
Yeah, they were looking for people who grew up with it and wanted a more mature storyline.
It was aimed up for older kids and young adults.
Mm-hmm.
But kids still like Transformers, and it's not like they want to get rid of that.
No. And
so Rescue Bots was their attempt to, here's Transformers for the kids. And this dichotomy still exists. They still do things like this. And we'll talk about that as we go along. You're going to see this again, where they do. But the reason it's aligned continuity is they do have a crossover episode within Rescue Bots where the Prime crew shows up. Now, it is completely inconsequential to Transformers Prime. because Rescue Bots takes place on its own little town, its own little island, doesn't affect anything else, but everything else is in, it's around everything else. So, the kids can go, oh, my big brother watches that.
This
I
is
watch that.
cool.
I'm older. I can watch it now. So there's connective tissue there. And the next step on that connective tissue, when Prime ended, is a new show in 2015 called Transformers: Robots in Disguise.
Yeah.
Again. 14 years before, we had Robots in Disguise, 2001. Now we're Robots in Disguise 2015. Now, here's the interesting thing. Transformers Prime ended with Optimus Prime sacrificing himself and Bumblebee being the new leader of the Autobots.
Which is definitely a change from what we're used to. Bumblebee has always been like the battle hardened, like grunt.
Well, and Prime did the movie thing where he doesn't talk, he makes noises. But they gave him his voice back at the end. And so for Robots in Disguise, he's the leader, he's got a voice. The visions of Optimus Prime, he's not completely gone, are guiding him and helping him along, and that's kind of the thing that they're doing. So that gets us to the end of Robots in Disguise 2015, which that takes us to 2017.
And I remember they were doing like 2 years or like 2 or 3 years, and then they'd make another one.
Yep. And this, remember how I just got done saying, there's the kid one and the adult one?
Mm-hmm.
They go full ham in that at this point. So a while back, I mentioned the Generations toy lines.
Mm-hmm.
Those started with a line called Transformers Classics. Say hello to the last gun Megatron they ever made. I'm holding you up for Transformers.
It's the Megatron guns were always cool, because then after that he kind of became like a tank, right?
He's a tank. He's always a tank for legal reasons. Even this one,
yeah,
you can see if you're watching the video, there's a gold tip. It's a sci-fi gun.
Mm-hmm.
It's not realistic gun. Even the scope's got an orange tip, just in case. But it's a gun Megatron. It's the only one I own. I never owned G1 Megatron. So this started a line called this was part of a line called Classics, which later got returned into Generations.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Generations became the place where you get your reissues. Most recently, the adult toy line for Generations has been going through what's called the War for Cybertron, and it was after that it was Unity, and now we have Power of the Prime. I think it's called Battle of the Prime, something like that. We have a G1 accurate. This is actually Studio Series 86 here.
It looks a lot like what Optimus.
It's meant to look like he's coming right off the screen. So they're making these, and they've made a whole bunch of these that are like old characters done up to look incredibly like their, original selves. And they just, but with modern toy tech. That's aimed at us.
Yeah.
It's aimed at our generation, people who've aged into that,
who grew up with it. They've done,
and it's not. They've done some for Armada toys as well. Like last year, they did Armada Optimus Prime for that generation of kids. But it's a modern toy, modern stuff, and it looks amazing. So that's for the older collector.
I know Monster's been collecting some too. I don't know which ones he got.
Yeah. So that's where we're on now. But this line was going on for a while. So you go back in this time frame, there was a toy line within Generations called Combiner Wars.
I remember that vaguely.
All about the combiners. And this is where things get interesting, because of all companies, Machinima starts making shows for the Combiner Wars lines. So what they started doing, it's called the Prime Wars trilogy. They have what they were doing is they do 3-year blocks, and they still do this. They'll do 3-year blocks of Generations. So for the Combiner Wars, it's Combiner Wars, Titans Return, and then Power of the Primes.
Okay.
And then after that, it went to War for Cybertron, Siege, Earthrise, and then Kingdom. And then then that just continues on. We're actually 2 after that now. But at any rate, Machinima makes a show. they put it on Netflix for the older audience. It's bad.
I
It's
remember
really,
there was,
really
I can't
bad.
remember which one it was, but it's, we're probably talking about
Oh,
it. I remember
it's
I
bad.
watched a few
It's
episodes and I was like done or whatever. I was just done.
yeah, that's right. At the same time they're doing that though, they're making a show for kids, and it's called Transformers Cyberverse. And the Cyberverse also had toys for the kids. Cyberverse toys are interesting. I wouldn't recommend them for adults, but for kids, yes, because they're fun. But they're not meant for adult collectors. And they're a little cheaper, they're for kids. But the show, I'd rather watch that than the machinima thing. And so that became a thing. And as that was going on, we eventually get into modern period. They did the War for Cybertron toy line as a machinima Netflix show.
Mm.
It is also terrible. There was no kids show there, but that leads us to the most recent show. 2022 on, there are two shows, like, excuse me. There is Transformers Earthspark, which is on Paramount Plus. If you have that, you can watch
I
it.
got that. I don't know if I want to watch that though. I'm scared to watch them after the machinima ones.
Well, from what I hear, Earthspark's actually pretty good.
Okay.
From what I've heard, I haven't watched it. Maybe you and I can watch it sometime.
Okay.
But I hear it's good. It's just starting its third season. And then for the kids, they have a show called Transformers Bots.
Bots?
Bots.
Okay.
And that's for the little kids. And like I said, that one is on Netflix.
Okay.
And it's for the little guy. It's for the little guys. So that's kind of what they do. Is they have the kids version and the adult version.
Well, like you said,
And
it's good that they're kind of still getting kids into it and they're keeping the franchise kind of fresh for them.
yeah,
Because they
well,
got
that's
us
it
when
with
we were kids, so
absolutely. And you don't want just G1, G1, G1. That gets old
yeah.
real fast. Who wants to endlessly watch G1? I love G1. I own the entire thing on DVD. I have 3 copies of the movie.
Yeah, but was
Uh,
as most things do when like you get older, they kind of lose their spark. Use the mind the phrasing, but they kind of you
Ah,
lose their spark, and you want something new, something that grows old with you.
yes, absolutely. Well, and that's the beauty. We just both got talking about Transformers Prime. That was, 15 years ago now.
Hmm.
But you and I look back on that very fondly.
Yeah.
And that was not our generation. I mean, it was meant for older kids, but it wasn't necessarily. It was meant to be enjoyed by older people too, like us.
Well,
But it was still shooting
they
at
made
like
it they made it
15
like
year
you said,
olds.
shooting for younger people, but at the same time making it good for people that grew
Yeah,
up with the
and
series.
that's what Earthspark is as well.
Okay,
And
I'll give it a chance.
Transformers. Yeah, yeah. I still need to, but I shied away early on because I'd heard some things, but I've also heard later things that's actually worth trying. So I've been meaning to. I just have to get to it.
It's
I'm
just
watching too much anime.
yeah, it's just an aspect like an idea of getting to it. There's a lot of stuff to watch these days too. So
Oh yeah. Well, and that's the thing for me. Transformers, the shows are fun and I enjoy them, but for me, it's all about the toys. I was showing that Optimus Prime earlier. That's my most recent Transformer. That's part of the Studio Series. And Studio Series are meant to look like the movies. They were actually made for the live action films originally. Because there are an extensive amount of people who are just only fans of the live action Transformers. The Studio Series line was meant for them, but there is a subline called Studio Series 86, and that is for Transformers the movie, like characters that appeared in that. And those are some of the best toys.
oh, I believe it.
Um, you can get better. There are the masterpieces, which are really high end, but there's 2 problems with masterpieces. I hope you have $200. And they're very complex because they're really show accurate.
Well, what about
So
the ones we were just talking about? The toys that kind of
the Studio Series
yeah.
86.
Well, the
Yeah,
ones
no,
no,
those.
the ones that transform by themselves. The
Oh,
ones
the
that, yeah,
RoboSens.
the ones that
Yeah,
we
those.
would have loved as a kid.
Oh, RoboSens are great, but they're There's only a few of them. There's Optimus Prime, Megatron, Bumblebee, and Grimlock.
Yes.
That's it.
But the
But
fact that
even
they
though
do what they do,
they do what they do is great. They're awesome. They're a grand each.
yeah, and they're expensive.
Uh-huh.
You better have a
grand
lot of
minimum.
money.
Grand minimum, somewhere more than that. Which I can't say that they're overcharged because what they do is insane.
Oh yeah, it's totally worth the money. You know what I mean? Like it's totally worth the money.
If you've got that kind of money and you want it, take it. It's a great idea.
It's like a 3-foot transformer.
They're big. They're big.
They're cool. Fucking awesome, and they talk and
Oh yeah, but not just talk. If you get two of them, they'll recognize each other and they'll react to each other.
They'll
Megatron and Optimus Prime will start talking to each other and shooting each other.
So cool. It's so cool, and the fact that they transform and you don't have to they stand up by themselves. It's so cool.
It's cool. But that said, I actually prefer, as cool as that is, and it is cool. I'm not trying to downplay it. For me, the fun of a Transformer is that it's 3 toys in one. You have your action figure, you have a vehicle, and you have a discovery toy where you can be like,
it's like a Rubik's Cube.
How do I turn this dinosaur into a guy?
Yeah.
Well, you do this, you do this.
That's what we like. That's what I liked as a kid, like I said, with the Optimus, when all the moving parts and stuff. It was like a Rubik's Cube.
They're all like that. Yeah, and they're all like that. And once you know what you're doing, you've got it figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, I had a T-Rex, now I have a robot.
Yeah.
But it's 3 toys in one. That auto transforming is cool, but it takes away 1/3 of what makes Transformers cool.
True. But then you had the combiners, which
combiners are
those
are crazy.
Oh, they're so cool.
Combiners are very cool.
That was just a great.
The only problem with that is you start ending up buying all of them, and it's like, oh, there goes my wallet.
Yeah.
They've got a Studio Series 86 Devastator, but you got to get each one of them.
I mean, let's think about combiners. Like it's almost like Voltron. You got to get them all to make the set.
Exactly. Yep. You got to get the whole set, and there's a ton of them. Even if you only do G1, there's a ton of them.
Oh yeah. They came out with I want to say maybe like 7 to 12 different combiners. Especially towards the end.
And there's a bunch more.
Yeah, there's a lot of combiners. It's just that you want to talk about, that'll kill your wallet real quick.
Oh yeah. But they're fun. I like combiners when I get them.
Well, as a kid too, you want to get all that stuff because you want to play out all your childhood fantasies and episodes in your head with these things, and it's just you can't do it with just.
What was fun was the 2001 Robots in Disguise toy line. They had combiners that were like 3 robots, so it wasn't too bad to get. But they combine it still look really cool.
Yeah. But like you said, that aspect adds like a 4th fun thing.
Yeah, that's a 4th level. Absolutely.
To the whole idea. And it's honestly the whole Transformers franchise, even like it's like from its humble beginnings of starting off from something else, like to being what it is, like it's come a long way, and it's actually it's beautiful. Like it's still going.
It is.
It's something that's still going today that still has the attention of people and still making people imagine.
There's been exactly one time Transformers died, and that was in 1990 because they couldn't keep it up. They couldn't keep it up. They came out with the Action Master toy line where they don't even transform anymore. It's just a literal action figure. Nobody wanted those.
Yeah, because they took out the fun.
And they hard cut that toy line. It dies in 1990. Doesn't come back for like 3 years until Generation 2. We're like, oh, maybe the transforming toys are good again. And that from that 93, there's a straight line of toy lines from there to today. Unbroken at that point.
Huh.
Yeah, that 3-year break in the United States. And that's the United States. If you're in Japan, if you're in Europe, that line goes all the way back to the 80s. Because the Action Masters did well over there, in Europe in particular. And yeah, they just kept going.
So are there any other shows that we're missing?
There are a bunch of Japanese shows.
We're not gonna go over those. We ain't got no time for that.
Oh God.
Bless the Japanese shows, though. You know what? The
Oh
fact that they
yeah.
got that's going strong there is good too.
Oh yeah. Well, in G1 and in Beast Wars, they had a bunch of unique ones. There's even one that's literally basically Transformer Super Sentai. Super God and Master Force.
I love it. I love it.
It's pretty nuts. I mean, if you want to talk about obscure Japanese Transformers, the king of them I gave a hint to earlier is Kiss players, where the Transformers get their power by getting kissed by Japanese girls. I'm not kidding.
I need to get my power that way. Japan, send your women.
Japan's figured this out.
I'll save you
It's
from
a whole
Godzilla.
thing.
I'll save you from Godzilla.
It's a whole manga thing, and you want to know what's really screwed up? It's in Japanese G1 continuity, because Japanese G1 continuity is different than American.
Wow.
So you want it.
Okay, so since we talked about all that, I guess we'll go ahead and wind down the podcast. Guys, well, thank you. We thank you for watching. We thank you for listening. You can find LK at his podcast and other places. You want to go ahead and plug that in, buddy?
Yeah, so my podcast is SimuldubSaints. We talk about anime simuldubs on Crunchyroll, High Dive, and I would have said Amazon until recent events, but we're not going to be talking about Amazon anymore after AI dubbing became a thing.
But we talk about,
God. Oh, it's bad. It's bad.
Amazon's just looking for the cheapest, easiest way to do shit, and they're fucking up.
It's sad because they did cheap, like, low effort dubs that were so bad, people, again, backlashed. So then they actually made good dubs, high quality dubs I'm happy to recommend. And now they're like, nah, screw that. We're going to do this instead.
We're going to go back. We're going to go backwards.
We're going to go even worse.
Oh,
why?
Man. So you can find LK at SimuldubSaints on
we're on YouTube, Spotify podcasts, and several other podcasts that pushes out to. And of course, you can find social media on Twitter and Blue Sky at SimuldubSaints.
Yep, and check them out. I've been a guest on a few other podcasts. Some good stuff.
And we love having you.
They have a lot of good information if you like the anime. There's a lot of good anime.
We are big anime dorks over there. Me and my co-host Archangel.
And it's very fun to listen to. So definitely check that out. And guys, we want to thank you for watching and listening. We'll see you next week on the next podcast. Till then, we want you to stay nerdy.
Stay sexy.
Always.